Crafting to You, and today I'm going to make the quadruple Z Fold card. So you will need a piece that measures 10 by 7, and you're going to score that. I did this on my circuit, but for those of you who don't have Cricut machines, then I'll give you all the measurements as we go along. So once you've got it, you want to put it in your whatever you're using for your scoring, and you're going to score at 2.5 and 5. Then you're going to fold it to like a normal card base. So just make sure you line up. Line up. And then you're going to fold back on itself. There we go. So you've got a standard Z fold for the moment, and I'm just gonna neaten my edges a bit. Okay, right, then you need 4 strips that measure 10 by 1.5, and again you're going to score at 2.5 and 5, and you're just going to do exactly the same to each of these strips. You're going to fold them in half, and then back on itself. Yeah, that's the right way. Oops, no, folding it in the wrong place. That's no good. Try and get that out. There we go. And we're just going to do that with the 4 pieces that we've got. And any burrs, I'm just going to go down and flatten them out. And then fold in half. And then fold, where is it, back on myself. Okay, just doing this with each of the 4 pieces. Okay, back on itself. Okay, and then the last one. Okay. Like those, whoops, done it again, folded in the wrong place. Smooth that out a bit, and where are we? Fold back. There we go. There we go. Right. Now what we're going to do is each of these cards, so they will go the opposite way. So first of all, I'm going to start off, so get your Z fold in the normal position, and then make this the opposite. So it's the fold, Z fold is to your right hand side. So we're going to get our glue, and I'm just going to put it on this piece here. And we're going to glue this to the very top. So we're going to put that absolutely level with your right hand side and level with your top, so that that will be absolutely there. Okay, we're going to get the next one, make sure it's exactly the same way. So all I had to do, because I folded it that way, is turn it over like that, and we're going to glue, and this time we're going to stick this to the absolute bottom. So we're going to line this up with the side and the bottom, so make sure that that is absolutely level with the bottom and the side. Okay, and then you've got your 2 other strips. Now you can just eyeball this, or you can actually measure it out. So I think we have got, let's see, we've got a 1/4 of an inch, I think we've got. So I'm going to just see, it's 1/4 of an inch, so I want to pop that at 1/4 of an inch, pop that down, pop that at 1/4 of an inch, And then is the 1/4 inch. No, there is a bit more than 1/4 inch, so I'm going to move that up there. So let's adjust it accordingly. That now. Let's see if we do it to a centimetre. Let's have a look. So if that goes to a centimetre, and then that, let's move that down to 10, put that at 9, hold that roughly. So I'm going to hold it in position there. That's roughly it. You can just eyeball it, because once you've got it near enough, it's going to be very difficult to see and to measure. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go for about a centimetre away. So you want to make sure that this is absolutely bang on with the edge, and it should be parallel. I'll put some more glue on here. Ooh, don't want that there. That won't matter because I'm sticking stuff over it. I'm going to see. That could just be tucked up very slightly. So I am eyeballing it. As long as you've got it bang on with the edge, that's about right. There we go. I think that we've got those all with the edge. Now, to make it easier for yourself, if you just fold and fold all these. So all I've done is fold your bottom. So you fold in the bottom of your zeb, and then just fold each one of these down, okay? And you just want to put your glue on half, this half. So I'm just going to pop that down, make sure it's level with my top. There we go, level with my top. Twist it round a bit. Okay, and do that. And I'm going to do the bottom one next. Let's place that down, make sure it stays level. And then you can pop your other two down. So just putting glue about on half. Okay, just flatten it down and make sure it is level with the edge of your card. And I'm creasing those, giving them a good crease then when I've done that, and the same with your last one. There we go, get it down, get those edges, get it level. There we go. I'll solve that down a minute. There we go. So that is going to stand up like this. Now we're going to do some more decorating. So now I've got a piece that measures 2 3/8 by 6 7/8, and this is going to go on the top. So I'm just going to smooth my edges down. Oops. Oh, I'm going to do it on the other side now. So you've got two sides. Good job. I've got a little bit of washi tape on that. And then I've got a piece of DSP that measures 2 1/4 by 6 3/4, and that's going to go on the top. So if you wanted to know what colours I'm using, Rococo Rose is my base, But you can use any colours, you just need coordinating colours. This is Blushing Bride, and the DSP app happens to be Rococo Rose as well. There we go. So just equal increment all the way around, and then we're just going to place this on top of here. So you need 2 of these. So you want 2 of your coordinating card, and then we're just going to place these on top with an equal increment to the side and the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's going to go on there. I'm going to open it up, and we're going to do the same for this side now. So again, this was 2 3/8 by 6 7/8. So just move my edges down. Okay, and let's move it that way, so I'll use it that way. And our 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. Blushing Bride, if I didn't say, and the paper happens to coordinate. It is actually Rococo Rose. Oh, I've got a bit of that there again. Okay, so going to make sure we've got equal increments all the way around. Okay. Equal increments all the way around, and then this is just going to be stuck this way. Now, if you've got DSP that has I've done it that way around, a definite pattern, be careful when you're cutting out and applying, so you get your DSP the right way. This one's not too bad. I just noticed that I'd got a lot of those going down, so I'm making sure that those are going down on this side. So again, equal increment all the way around. That's it. That's so far, so that's looking good. Oops, let me just get that in there. Right, now you want 8 pieces that measure 2 3/8 by 1 3/8. So you want 8 of those. Now what I'm going to do to these 8 pieces is I'm going to emboss them. So I wanted something that would work with my pattern. So I've got this beautiful one. These were the Meadow Moments. I love this folder. Oh, why did I have 2? One inside the other? That's a bit funny. I don't know why I put that away. Let's just get I saw a bit of red somewhere. Don't want that in there. So I thought this would go well. So I'm going to see if I can get 4 in. Don't know whether I will be able to, but we'll see. And I'm going to get the pattern repeating, going down there if I can. So having those 4 there, and then popping that on top. Now this is not a 3D folder, so it's just a standard embossing folder. So I'm going to say, so I think this is just an embossing folder. So I want 4 on top, it says, and 1 underneath. So we'll try that. I think that's 1. Let's try that. So I like these plates because it tells you exactly what you need to do. Right, now that is going through too easy. So I don't think that's embossed it at all. So I'm going to step it up a bit, and I'm going to use the number 3 plate instead. Okay, and that feels a bit more of not too much pressure, but it has got some pressure. And we have got ours done. So that's lovely. So I'm going to take these 4 out. One, they're statically stuck. Right, there we go. And I'm going to put the next 4 in. Let's place that there. There's my other 4. So that's 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and there should be 1 more that's stuck somewhere. They were there a minute ago, so there it is, my last one. So that's good that it sticks 4 in, so you only need to do it twice through and that will do it. There we go, and I'm just going to put the 1 on the bottom. Always put your hinge through first, and the thicker one was the 3, so I needed 1 and 3, not the 4, so I'm going to take that through. So we did do a extra layer on the side, but for the middle we are not. We are just having this. They seem to have slipped about in here. Don't normally do that. It's because I'm putting more through. Right, let's just pop those out of the way and bring back in our layers. So I really wanted to keep them together, but I didn't, did I? So let's see. That looks maybe roughly the butterfly. This looks there. That's what I've done. Let's turn it over. So you can choose the emboss or deboss. It's totally up to you. I think they was, yeah, I like that pattern. So we're going to put those on now. So I like to put plenty of glue on so that it makes sure it adheres properly. So I'm going to just squash that down. And this, so you don't have to do 2 layers here, you could just do the 1 layer, but I just wanted the coordinating colour, so just going to make sure that that gives it equal increment. And I'm going to pop it over slightly and leave a bigger gap either side there. So I'm doing a bigger gap there. I just think this is such a pretty embossing folder and it works with the theme. So I'm going to make sure equal increments top and bottom, and then the side bits are a bit wider on this. And this one, if I'd got basic beige, I'd use basic beige, however I haven't. I'm using Sahara Sand, because Sahara Sand and the Rococo Rose and Blushing Bride look beautiful together. So I wanted to do those all together. So put those down. Yeah, I like that. Right, we're going to do the other side now. So we're going to flatten it out. And let's see how these are going to look. So which way up? I've got things that doesn't look that way. That's got a little bit of flower on. Let's see. That bit of flower, does that go there? Well, I can't see so much on this one. I'm trying to find out where it follows. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. I should have paid more attention when I fetched them out, shouldn't I? Really. I can't. I wonder if that's that. No. So, or do they go this way? No. Well, oh, hang on. Possibility. I'm going to go for that anyway. And we'll go for that. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to, oh, that is right. That is definitely right. So I think I'm going to go with that anyway. So I like the bottom bit of that. Yeah, so I'm going to go there. So if you do want to follow on with your embossing folder, if you've got just a pattern that doesn't really follow on, but it won't matter anyway because of the way this card displays, you are not going to notice this side. So I'm pleased I match more of the front, but it won't matter anyway because I bet I'm covering half of that up anyway. So I'm going to do that there. Yes, and of course on your embossing folders you can use the emboss side or the deboss side. It's your preference, whichever you want. Sometimes I do the deboss side, sometimes I do the emboss side. Okay, so that's that, and so that's going to stand like that. Going to see that. Now I have got, you saw that I did, I'm going to put this roughly in the middle, and I think I'm going to stand that up on some dimensionals, so I'll have to be careful where I put the dimensionals. So oops, flip over. Okay, so I'm gonna see whereabouts, so I'm going to concentrate on just the front, because when it's stood up it will be like that. You could write or do something down this or just leave the DSP. So in fact, before I do that, I'm going to look at positions. So I have got made 2 of the flowers up. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick that there. Now let's peel that off and stick that. So I don't want to go above and I don't want to come out the side. Okay, so we're all right with that. I'm going to stick the bottom on next. So I have got another one of those flowers, so I'm going to stick that up on a dimensional as well. So that's going to go tuck in that corner like that. And I've got one more, a bit different, and I'm going to tuck it underneath. Quite like it tucked. I think I'm going to tuck it, so I'm going to watch where I put my dimensional. I'm going to put it lower down, okay, because I don't want it to be sticking this bit to the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to put this up, make sure that that goes over my leaves. I think I'm going to stick it around there. Yeah, so we're safe on this side, so I'm going to put a couple on this side, and then I've got to be careful where I put these, so I think I'm going to actually stick it on here so I know I'm safe, and it's about there, so I'm all right with those 2. And then I want something in the middle, so I'm just going to stick a couple in the middle, and I think I'm all right with those. Okay, hopefully I've done that right. So I'm going to stick that. Might stick it under there a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And just going to peep in there. Yeah, nothing's hanging over the edge, so that will close like that and then open like that. And you could, I could put a verse down there. As I say, I might just leave that as the DSP because that looks quite nice on its own. But if you've got a sentiment that would work down there, you could put that as well. Of course, I will do something on the back. I don't know whether I've got just a quick, let's see if I've got anything quick that I can pull out of my, sometimes I have. See, Yeah. Just typical, isn't it? I'm going through everything now. I'm sure I had something the other day and I just slotted it in and it appears I haven't. That's, as I say, oh, there's something here, right? So you could just stick something like that on the back for writing on and a quick sentiment. So this measures 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. So I'd stick something on that and then stick that central in there. So I'm going to leave that to stamp, but go back to this because I'd like to just finish decorating. So what have we got now? I have got, don't know whether, I think I'm going to stick one of those on. Yeah, that's firm. So these are just the opals, I think they were called. Yeah, round opals. So I'm just going to stick a round opal in a couple of the flowers. So just in the middle. So I can get to the centre. So I've got those there. Now for that middle bit there is rather tiny, and I've got something that I've had donkey's years, and they are smaller than the opals but very similar. So I'm gonna, in fact there's a teeny weeny one and I'm gonna go for the teeny weeny one because I don't want to block all of my yellow. Yeah, that works because it's very similar to those. Don't know what they were called. I've had them donkey's years. That wasn't that piece. These, and they look as though they're the raindrop ones. So they came all together with that set. And in fact, I even think a demonstrator gifted me these. I think Anne, I can't remember her name now. Anne. She's still going, not as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Oh, I wish I could remember her surname. Anne. So we've got that. I was going to put some Wink of Stella, so I'm going to put some sparkle on my flowers. So just bring in some sparkle to give it a bit more sparkle. Just putting a bit. It will just make it sparkle on those. So I'm going to put a bit. Yeah, I love Wink of Stella. Makes all the difference to just make it sparkle. And that one. Okay, then I'm going to put some in this as well. And deliberately just put in lines. Okay, so I'm putting lines in the place to kind of give it some definition. Yep, like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for dropping by. Stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.